Alrighty then, welcome back ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the ICT Saga Expose. This is going to be part 3. If you missed parts 1 and 2, you are definitely missing out. Make sure, if you're not done so already, follow us over here on our social media. Instagram is where we have a whole lot of fun. And if you want to learn how we earn and join the rest of our traders who are smashing out of the parks, oh man, they are killing it, right down here in a Discord. Links are down in the description down below. But tonight, I'm going to focus on the massive fat old fart fraud, the one, the only ICT, aka Michael J. Huddleston. Let's get into it here tonight. Oh my word, tonight I'm going to talk to you guys about how, you know, before he had said that two mysterious individuals named, what was it? Pop quiz, who remembers? Tobias and Parson. If you don't know that name, go watch this video. This is part 1 and part 2 of the lies that ICT tells. Again, this guy lies. How do you know when ICT's lying? When he's moving his mouth. Don't forget about that. In fact, we need our intro. Cue it up right now.
Michael J. Huddleston, aka ICT, calling himself the inner circle trader, is a well-known con artist and fraud in the trading industry. There are very few trading scams who tell more lies than ICT. There is a well-known saying in the trading industry: how do you know when ICT is lying? When his lips are moving. Never trust anything coming from ICT. You have been warned. In this series we will be showcasing the history of this conman and revealing the fraudulent statements and outlandish lies and absurdities uttered by this fraud over the years in the trading industry. Know your history or you are doomed to repeat it. Get Wrecked Studios proudly presents Fraudulent and Stupid Things ICT Says. Enjoy.
Alrighty then, fraudulent and stupid things ICT says. Tonight we're going to talk about how he also claimed at one point, going after the religious crowd, claiming that God himself struck ICT with a fireball from heaven right in his ass, and that is how he is able to see the right hand side of the charts before you do. Not because he's got that, you know, cheat on MetaTrader 4 and he can insert his own stuff and all that kind of stuff, or using a delayed data feed where he can see it ahead of time. Not because of any of that. No. God himself shows ICT the charts 10 minutes. Hint, nudge, what was it? We found him using the 10-minute delayed data feed thing so he could do his cherry-picked trades on. Oh, you guys forgot about that? Oh, you get that 10-minute delayed feed, and that's how you can know what happened 10 minutes ahead of time? Oh, why his trades are about 10 minutes each? Oh, surprise. I can't imagine how that could be. No. Let's listen to ICT tell everyone with tears in his eyes. I'm not joking you. Tonight you're going to hear the tears. ICT is actually going to be crying in this interview conversation that we have with ICT, where he is crying to tell you that God himself struck him with a fire. Where else are you going to get this type of information from? How else can you explain that I know so much? 10-minute delayed data feed, MetaTrader 4. I got a lot of reasons. Multiple screens being recorded all at the same time, only showing the one that works, cherry picked. Yeah, I got a lot of reasons and a lot of ways to explain how it wasn't God striking with the firewall, bro. But let's get to the actual conversation. Don't forget Tobias and Parsons. He did say that two mysterious characters, Tobias and Parson, met him in, remember where? Do you remember? Pop quiz, those of you guys who've been watching, pay attention. Where did they meet him? Do you remember? In a mall at the food court in Maryland, right? Twice in the same seats, in the same place, in the same location. And remember, they took him out in the middle of the night and threw him in the windowless van and took him down to a warehouse where they locked him inside, where he could only escape if he remembered the Fibonacci sequence codes. Remember that? Yeah. If you missed that, folks, we're not making this shit up. I didn't make this up. From his own lips, his own words, writing to his students to convince them that they should stay in his mentorship program because he's got secrets from Tobias and Parsons. Oh, well, one time in one of the years, he said Tobias and Parsons. In another year, folks, I'm going to show you guys this from one of his own students who came to me. Let me introduce you guys to Random 4, who came into our room the other day. Here's his conversation. He says, "Hi, everyone. I'm new here. I wanted to personally contact Vinny regarding the, regarding the video he makes about ICT. I have been in his mentorship for years. I simply have a video to share." Now, mind you, it was great that he brought this up. I haven't seen this one in a while. I have already done a video on this cry fest of his, and I did, kind of publicly, display the shame of ICT, who has no shame in his lies 24/7, every lie that comes out of this man's mouth. He lives in a cardboard box, pretends like he's a multi-millionaire out there, $750 million that he claims he's worth, and yet he claims that he bought his kids $500,000 houses, yet I sent private investigators to find out his kids are living in shacks. No, not shacks, worse than shacks. One lives in a trailer park, and the other one is forced to do nursing labor for ICT's elderly in-law father. Okay, he literally has him doing hospice care, doing the work of a nursing worker, because ICT can't actually afford nursing health for his elderly father. So he has his 20-year-old son, who is a beta boy, who just says, yes, daddy, yes, sir, daddy, yes, daddy. He abuses his son to force him to go over there and change his old man's diapers. Yes, Depends diapers changing is part of the things that you do when you're dealing with these elderly folks. I feel so sorry for ICT's kids, but don't let him con you. Don't be one of those fools like the ICT kids who fall for his BS. Now, one of his own students has come to me saying, Vinny, you got to see this. Now, mind you, I'm glad he brought this up, because I also want to bring up that ICT has his minions going out there and threatening other people. Somebody came today and said something down in the comments, said, Vinny, he never threatened your family. No, he doesn't do it directly. He sends his little minions to do it. I already proved this out. Now, people are saying, oh, Vinny, that didn't happen. Oh, really? Here is another person who was threatened. I wanted to bring this up. It was another person threatened out here. Adam, Abe Trade. The blog post I published a month ago about smart money concepts and ICT trading caused quite a bit of disturbance, hate, and also some death threats. So obviously there is no better thing to do than to turn it into a video format. Boom. Here's ICT's MO. What he does is he sends people to death threat people, which is why in the past people used to take their stuff down, because they would be threatened so much. And again, they don't necessarily live in Texas like I do, where I'm protected by guns and the Second Amendment followed up by the First Amendment, or the first backed up by the second, really. And, big yard that, you come in the backyard, you want to come at me, I'm probably going to do something about it. I might bury you in the back acres, you know what I'm saying? But these people come out here and they give death threats to people, other people, not just me. There are many of these. In fact, I got another set of them sent over from some of our Twitter friends, including Tom Dante. Go ask Tom Dante. He's been around the whole trading universe as long as I have. I think we're actually the same age. And he's even showed this stuff. He sent this over to me. He said, hey, did you see this guy, Abe, got attacked by ICT? I'm like, what? Another one? So this one, we've got 3 more I'm going to be showing you guys next week, but I really want to get into this other stuff here tonight. But this just brought it up. I had to do it because the death threats came. They sent it over to me today. And then I almost said kid here. Listen, I think he's grown up. Okay, he probably started out as a kid in ICT's crew, because most of the people who get conned by ICT are brand new traders who don't know any better about anything. So they're like, oh, well, this ICT guy, I've heard people talk about him. Yeah, because they're trying to resell his content and all that kind of whatnot, and they're trying to push it on you. But so they hear about him on Instagram. They're like, oh, let me go check him out. And but eventually they have this moment where they're like, something doesn't seem right here. So he was urgent in saying, Vinny, you've got to see this video. Okay, that's the short of it. Let's get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and play some of this video for you and do some response to it as we go. You're going to like this. Let's go. All right, now before we start this video, he did keep mentioning that he had edited the video so that it would be, it's not the whole thing. He said there's some personal stuff in there that he cut out, which you want to see the full unedited version. I have it down in my ICT scammer section down below, but we're just going to play his version here tonight. It is 10 minutes, so hang with me. Let's go all the way. It is some low quality stuff. He was trying to blur it out because he was worried about copyright infringement, stuff like this, that he doesn't know how that stuff works or whatnot, but it's okay. Let's play it through. Let's listen in to the ICT man himself.
There's no author.
And context. He is trying to convince. This is usually about in the 5th or 6th month of his mentorship, where people start to bail out and realize there's nothing there. The intelligent ones start to leave, and he starts to panic. He's like, oh, I got to get their money. I got to get their money. I got to get their PayPal money. How can I convince them to stay? And all of a sudden, he starts like, oh, I got to go with the, if you stay till the last part of the year, guys, I'm going to start revealing some more secrets that God himself revealed to me. Okay, so here we go. Here's the appeal. ICT making his appeal to his students who have already paid him, well, they're paying him monthly. All right, he needs to keep them in for another 6 months. Otherwise, daddy can't get paid. Let's go, because we know we can't trade. We've seen that, right? Let's go.
There's no guru. There's nobody that secretly came into my 20-year-old life and sat down over top of church and showed me these things.
Okay, now, do you remember how we heard about Tobias and Parsons? He said, nobody sat me down and showed me these things, right? And yet, go back to the other story from Tobias and Parsons, and he said, Tobias and Parsons sat me down and taught me the secrets, right? So again, this is another year. So he's like, oh, I got a whole new set of sheep in here to shear. He's got to shear some sheep. So he's like, I got to pull out another story out of my ass. The Tobias and Parsons one didn't really land too well. So let's go with the God story here. But notice what he said. No one taught him. Well, then that means the Tobias and Parsons story was a lie, right? I mean, look, the guy contradicts himself, but you got to catch him in the contradictions, and he will just bypass it. That's why he erases history. That's why he deleted his Twitter account. That's why he deleted his Instagram account. He hopes that there is no history to be had. So, folks, I am your market historian, Vinny E. Mini, aka Vinny Zilla, and I am here to bring you the truth, and the truth will set you free. Here is the history of the ICT. He said he had not been taught yet. Contradiction number 1, Tobias and Parsons. Let's go.
There are people that are trying to stop me from sharing this with you.
Let's talk about the people that tried to stop him from sharing this with you. Remember, he alluded to the fact that Tobias and Parsons and these dark secret agents and the people that he worked for, the Rothschilds, that they don't like him out here sharing these secrets with you. Bullshit, bullshit, triple bullshits. But he's tying in some of his old stories with his new stories, forgetting what he said, but he knows partials. So he's like, there are people trying to stop me, and they're very, very scary. Remember in the last one in Tobias and Parsons, I'm telling you, if you just pause the video right now, if you didn't watch the Tobias and Parsons video, go pause this video, go watch it now. Otherwise, the rest of this context isn't going to be, and I'm not going to refer to it as much as we go forward. I'm ending that part right now. Go watch the video, come back, and I will have expected that you watch Tobias and Parsons so that all this will make more sense. Let's go.
For the last 11 years, they've pressed. I just keep doing what I'm doing.
Dramatic.
I want to thank you for enduring my emotional conversation. I'm not looking for any kind of emails, because usually when I do things like this, I get a flood of emails saying, different things. I would appreciate if you didn't email me about this one. It took a little measure of courage to be able to speak openly, and this turned you off to me being your mentor. I understand. It might be a little unnerving listening to something like this, but that's how I'm seeing all this stuff. That's how I learned it. Does it sound hard to believe? Probably. I would probably be just like you if you think like that. For some of you, you're going to think, wow, this is a gift. Look, this is a gift. And that's how I see it too. An undeserved gift. So, that's why I ask you guys that are in here doing this, and you're sharing it, and you're passing it around, you're selling it. Just consider that. Maybe it won't be any consideration on your part. Maybe it's more inspiration for you to want to do it. You're not stealing from me. There's been several times over the last couple of years I've been wanting to talk like this. And I don't want to talk like this a lot going forward. I'm not saying I won't ever bring it up again. I don't want to sound like I'm pushing religion, because I'm not. I'm not religious. I have a relationship, and I believe what I believe and who I believe in.
Okay, he's cutting segment over to another section.
I sit down before I do these videos. I ask him the same thing. Give me wisdom. Give me the words to say. And let me be understood. And you get all the glory.
Appealing to the God crowd.
It seems like he's being faithful in that regard. The markets tend to be doing what I feel led to say. But I also feel like I'm being led to draw this to an end.
Being led to draw this to an end, eh? Okay.
I don't want any of you thinking that this video was a preaching session to you. It was me being honest and giving glory and honor to the person that gave me this.
So God gave it to you? Let's hear. Tell us some more.
Everything I said is the truth. And
I love it when he has to say everything I've said is the truth. I mean, look, when you're telling people things and it just is the truth, you don't have to tell people it's the truth. It's true. Well, I mean, sometimes maybe if you're telling them like a crazy outlandish story, which, I mean, at some point you got to realize ICT's just a really great big fish storyteller because he's got these people believing it. And mind you, they're all young. They're all like under the age of 20. They've proven that, you know, boys' brains particularly don't develop fully until they're 25. So he's targeting these youth, and particularly those outside the United States, which we have proven before. I won't go into that here tonight, but let's carry on. Let's listen to more of the ICT telling you the truth.
Change your view of me or reduce your respect of me as your mentor. But I have been asked many times along the years, and now because so many of you came in this recent enrollment, my staff's like, look, can you just talk about where you get this stuff from? So now you know. I don't want you thinking that I think I'm special or clairvoyant or a prophet. I am not equating myself to anything like that. All I'm saying is I'm an undeserved recipient of something that I would have never learned. I never would have learned this had it not been from who I learned it from.
Who'd you learn it from, Mikey? Last time you told us it was Tobias and Parsons. Who is it this time?
And when people see me do what I do, the natural response is, I know something illegal. I'm doing something illegal. I'm doing what I'm showing you. So.
Illegal? Nah.
And give you about 20 other instances like this. And it's not meant for you to believe in the Bible. It's not meant for you to believe that I'm a prophet. It's not meant for you to believe that I'm crazy. But imagine me going on baby pips and saying, here's how I learned all this stuff. You would have never listened to me. You would have laughed me off that forum, and it never, ever, ever would have been listened to beyond the first time I mentioned any of this. I don't care if you don't believe me. You can unsubscribe. You can stop. I don't care. I live this. And this same person talks to me. He encourages me. He corrects me when I'm wrong. When I used to look at these charts when I was younger, things would jump off like that. It would say, look at this. It wouldn't be a conversation. It would be, look at this. And I would study it, and it would be there. There is nobody sitting down with me when I was younger saying, this is what you do.
ICT, did you forget about Tobias and Parsons that told you before? You forgot the story. Oh, that was so 2016. This is totally 2017 or 2018. Oh, my fault. New story. I got it. New storyline. Okay, got it.
You wouldn't believe me if I would have said this from the beginning. But where else can you find it? It's not anywhere else.
Fibonacci 618 pullback, and that there's probably a lot of liquidity stops sitting behind pivots. The two things you teach that you act like you made up. You don't think you find that anywhere else? Oh, okay, daddy. Again, this is for newbie traders. He wants to burn you up. He's a fraud. Carry on.
And there's more than this. This is nothing. And I have to repent all the time because my flesh rises up when I see these fakes. These people out there, they talk smack, they think this and they think that. I could get in there and win that Robbins Cup in a week. In 1 week.
Okay. Well, we'd like to see that, ICT. We've been asking for you to jump into the Robbins. You blew your account 4 times in the Robbins, verified by Joel Robbins himself, the owner and president of Robbins. Said, bro, you blew your accounts. You've blown your accounts, and you sit here and tell your minions. Again, he gets away with it because he's like, oh, nobody's going to double check me on this. Oh, and then all of a sudden comes along Vinny E-Mini. You guys wonder why the guy hates me? Because I double check the man. I verify. And this guy is an unverified but fully verified fraud, scam, con artist, cunt. Let's carry on. Robin's in a week.
Give it to me for that. My flesh all the time wrestles. All the time with everybody else that tries to be like there's something they're not. And I know they're not. You know they're not. These are some of the things I was going to put in the books I was going to write, but I'm not writing them. They'll get tossed around, prostituted like everything else.
Your books will get tossed around and prostituted? Bro. No, people are just going to eventually call you out. If you wrote it, if you put this shit in a paperback, like, first of all, nobody would buy that shit. And then if the few people who did, they would eventually, if they were that studious and wanting to study you, they would eventually come across my videos of truth about you. And yeah, it would be a waste of time. But dude, nobody's buying your books, bro.
I want you to hear it. I wanted you to hear it from me. And I don't care if you don't believe it. Because it's the truth. And there's no other explanation for it.
I've been over this already earlier. There are a lot of explanations for how you cherry pick your trades and how you're recording multiple screens and how you're using delayed data feeds and how you never trade live in front of people. And every time that you ever have traded live, people think, oh, you don't have a track record. Bro, you've got track records. You've got track records that go to zero. We've got multiples of them we've shown. Bro, all you do is blow accounts. You know it. I know it. Everybody actually who has been around the markets any period of time whatsoever knows you're a fucking fraud, bro. You do not have a one-year track record of any sort whatsoever. You're a con man and a fraud. You claim that you lived in a 12,000 square foot house and we found you in a shack, bro. And right before that, you lived in a tiny apartment that you gave to your grandfather, right? Oh, I bought it from your grandfather. No, you didn't, dude. You moved him in there and put your son in there and told him to do your nursing duty. You are a disgusting and pathetic father. You took one car from one of your sons and gave it to your other one and claimed that you bought it for him. Bro, you're pathetic. Carry on. Oh, Cryfest cut. So there's a lot of cuts in this video. I really do think you should go watch the full unedited one. It's pretty epic. It's long.
I bowed my head, had my hands crossed in front of me, and I just was in my head saying, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But if you're going to do anything with me, Lord, do it now. Because if I walk out here unchanged at night, I don't know what I'm going to do. But it ain't going to be anything like this. I felt a hand on my right shoulder. It was the assistant pastor. He said, Michael, are you ready to pray for repentance? And I said, yes. And he led me through a prayer. And he said, all right, now whatever you feel like you want to say, you just say it.
And at this moment, he knew he should have said, Dear Heavenly Father, I apologize for lying to the world for all of these years, continuously telling them that I'm worth $750 million and that I am a big dog in the Forex industry and that I've run hedge funds, that you have not done any of ICT, and you should have prayed and said, Dear Lord, please forgive me, and then deleted your fucking YouTube channel and all of your Twitter feeds. That's what you should have done. That's what you should have done, but let's listen to what he actually did. Carry on.
And what felt natural for me to say was, I love you, Jesus, and I started to say something else after that. And then I lost control of my tongue. I started talking in a language I never learned before.
Did that speaking in tongues sound something like this?
Dicks out there running around saying they could beat my ass in trading. Motherfucker!
Hold on. That was definitely speaking in tongues. Hold on. Rewind it one more time. Say it one more time, ICT. He really has some things to say here. Let's go.
Two dicks out there running around saying they could beat my ass in trading. Motherfucker!
I'm sorry. And his tongue was touched with a fire from heaven, and he started to speak in tongues of words and meanings that we have no idea. Continue on. Continue on.
It was such a beautiful experience, but scary at the same time. I've never felt more alive than that moment, ever. I opened my eyes up. The senior pastor standing in front of me said, welcome to the family. He said, the word says, If you receive the Spirit, you got to be born again with water baptism in Jesus' name. And I submitted to that as well. Came up out of the water again, started talking in tongues. I know some of you in here don't want to hear things like this, but it's the truth. Two nights ago in the church after that night, and again, I know this sounds like I'm preaching to convert people. I can't convert anybody. Unless God draws you, you can't, period. It just doesn't work that way, because I tried real hard for years. And it came to the conclusion that if someone asks me, then I'm going to talk about it. They're going to see it in my life, and then they're going to ask. Well, a lot of you asked. And since it's my last one, I'm not doing a mentorship next year, and I just need to get it.
And then he pulled the "I'm never doing this mentorship again, so you better stay" thing. Folks, he said this same thing every year. Think about this. Let's count them out. He said it in 2016. It's my last year. I'm never doing this again. In fact, that's how we got everybody to come in. Look, I am never going to ever do this again. So, if you want to hear from me, you want to learn from me, come in right now. You got it. You got 4 days to sign up right now. You got to do it right now, right now, right now. Okay. Everybody got in there. Oh, and he also told people that he was going to donate the money to charity, which we found out did not go to any charity whatsoever. That is called fraud. In fact, you could get busted for that. I don't know if it's jail time fraud, but definitely fines, major fines. You cannot do that. Didn't give the money to charity like he did, but he got a lot of people to go, oh, well, okay, well, if it's going for charity, I'll go ahead and toss it in. Because he's like, I don't need the money, so I'm going to give it to charity. My ass. He actually moved out of the apartments next to the train tracks that he was living at on Dundalk, and moved a little bit higher class neighborhood in Maryland. Not too much farther up the road, but at least he got himself a decent place. But yeah, that's all this was worth $750 million stuff, and living in a 12,000 square foot mansion crap and having big cars and all that. Nah, all that was fake. So let's carry on.
Get off my chest. I'm telling you. My real secret is what I'm telling you.
Your secret is that you speak in tongues because you got saved in church?
I have recordings of things like that in my life. And I write them down because when my youngest son was little, I was afraid that something would happen to me. He'd never hear about it. So I write down all of these experiences I've had. And I do it so that way my children know who I believe in, why I believe in him, and why they should too. Because the life they live is not because of who you are and what you send me through PayPal.
What you send me through PayPal. Wow. This guy is just gross. If he thought this was a religious message, these my experiences that I have, like if you believe in God because of your experience, that's not going to work for you, because some people don't have any experiences whatsoever. The only thing that matters is that Jesus Christ died for you, bro. Nothing that you did, all that he did, nothing with you. So this whole thing of like talking about, I wrote down all my experiences so my kids will know why I believe in God. Your experiences don't mean shit, bro. But it looks like, I see there's only a few seconds left of this video. I believe they edited this and it does not have the part where he got hit by a fireball from heaven. So I'm going to find that and I'm going to put it in here. So give me a moment, but we're going to put that in here, because that was, in my opinion, the most hideousness of all this. He's appealing to the God crowd here, particularly saying that, God's the reason that I know all this stuff. Which that would be great if that's the case, if it was actually successful, but it's not. And all the lies that he built on, it's like literally saying, God says that Satan is the father of lies, and this guy lies every other breath. So that's pretty hard to read and hear, but the most important part, I believe, is when he said that he knew because he saw a fireball from heaven come out of the sky, hit him. He called himself Elijah, the prophet, which is interesting earlier because he said he wasn't the prophet. But we want to, let me find that clip here. Let me play out the rest of this, but it looks like there's only a few seconds left. And there's no way he tells the whole story of the fireball from heaven thing, of why he's able to see the charts. So even the person, whoever this was, random, who you sent me this video to review here with everybody tonight, you need to play this last part, because if you thought this part was good and that this was like, man, I can't believe he did all this, it gets worse when you hear about the fireball part. Here we go.
I'm a blessed man even before you met me on Baby Pips. I'm a blessed man because he saved me so many times that I should have been dead.
Okay, yeah, so this was heavily edited, as he said. Lots of stuff cut out, but the most important part about the fireball, I thought it was going to be in here. Apparently it wasn't. Let me go and find that for you. I'm adding it right now. All right, so this is too juicy to miss, and we've already in the play of him to it. So I'm just scrolling down here, and here it is. If you want to see the whole thing, Inner Circle Trader Sermon on the Mount, Part 2. It's 2.5 hours long. Again, the real regalia if you want to get the whole thing. But I've fast forwarded it to this one section here where he's talking about the fireball from heaven and the sky, and this is how, you know, he's convincing his students. This is all part of the full same conversation. In fact, I played it back here to the left here, and that section where he said, you know, I'm not religious, all that stuff that he said earlier. That's all this section here. So the continuation of this, I don't know why these other guys decided to cut this part out. I think it's important to the story. Let's play it.
And people cheered on like, yeah.
Apparently he doesn't
When I
like
go
football.
to church and I worship you, I'm around other people. Am I getting emotional? Or is this like really what's going on? Like, am I deceived by any of this? And I guess the only way I'll know the answer to that is if you answer this. Can you hear me right now?
Mind you, he's talking to God, just in case
Can you
somebody's
hear me asking this question?
missing, getting it caught up. He's
Because
talking
if
to
you
God.
can hear me, as insignificant as I am, you as the creator of heaven and earth, if you can hear me amongst everything else and everybody else in this existence praying to you when they do, I need you to give me a sign. Just give me one sign, and I already know that you know what I'm going to ask for. And you're probably smiling, thinking you could have asked for anything, and you asked for this. And what's funny is, I already know you're going to do it. I don't know how I can tell you in words what I'm saying and make it sound any more believable, because I'm hearing myself say it right now. And if someone else was saying this, I would have been like, this guy's nuts. But I stood there that night on my porch and I said, Lord, I'm not asking you to give me anything in particular.
Okay.
I'm not asking you to heal me of anything.
Uh-huh.
I just want you to tell me with a sign that you hear me.
Uh-huh.
And that means to me that no matter what I ask for, you've heard me. And if it happens and it comes to me, then it was your will. And if it doesn't come to me and I don't get it, it's still your will. And I'm okay with it. Because I'm going to trust that you know better than I do. I'm looking up in a specific location in the sky at the moment as I'm talking to him. And I'm talking to him just like I'm talking to you right now. I wasn't on my knees. I wasn't having my hands up in the air. I just had a heart-to-heart talk with him. I said, God, I want you to send a shooting star, but not something little tiny little thing. Like, I need to see it.
Okay, hold on. Did he just say he asked God to send a shooting star? Is this a Disney princess story? Hold on. Is he quoting, is this a Disney princess story thing? Is this, what was the one with the frog? Pinocchio? Oh, this is Pinocchio. Down, down, do, 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 do. Boom, 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 boom. Boo, do, 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 do. What is it? Am I Geppetto? What is this, Geppetto? Wish upon a star? What do I need? An umbrella cane? Do I get Jiminy Cricket? I don't even know, man. I don't know the character. But, you know, this is a wishing star thing. So he's going to wish upon a star. Okay. My brain hurts. Oh, my word. So he's going to wish on a star? Sorry, I mean, I interviewed this guy. I just, you know, this is my interview with him. And I just forgotten. Okay, so let me just carry on.
Right where I'm looking at right now. And I already know you're sending it. I'm not blinking. I'm not moving from this position.
I'm not going to blink until you send me that shooting star.
And I swear to God Almighty.
Oh? Be careful.
On my life and my family, I'm telling you.
Oh?
Right where I was looking.
Right where you were looking.
I'm not sure if you ladies in here remember back in the 80s.
Ladies?
There's like soap operas that used to be on TV.
Yeah, that's what this sounds like. Was it Days of Our Lives?
But every time they showed like a hospital scene and they had the people in the heart monitor machines, it would look like two little dots bouncing off of each other. Okay?
Oh,
Kind of
yeah.
think of that.
Okay.
That's what I was
need to drink
looking at
more.
in the sky. Right where I was looking. It wasn't somewhere else. It was right where I was looking at. And I was watching it. It did like maybe 4 or 5 times come towards the left.
Is this guy serious right now?
And then where it stopped, the shooting star shot across the sky the opposite direction.
No way.
In my mind, that was enough. And I was ready to part my lips and say, thank you. I was ready to say, that's it. That's all I need to see.
I saw my shooting star. I could do it. Okay, bro. Okay, bro.
This is going to take a little bit of imagination on your part.
Yeah, it's a lot of imagination on my part, actually. I'll be honest.
Straight in front of you. And imagine holding a baseball in your right hand.
All right, everybody got your baseballs out? Everybody imagining your baseball in your right hand? Okay, now everybody sing that song with me. Okay, here we go. Wish upon your star. Everybody got their baseball? Got the baseball in hand. Okay.
At arm's length, stretched out in front.
Arm's length. Okay, got it. Okay. I'm with you, bro.
Now imagine that baseball. A grapefruit.
Oh, it's even bigger now. A grapefruit. Ooh.
All right.
I got a grapefruit.
Now imagine a ball of fire.
It's a grapefruit. Oh, a ball of fire.
Grapefruit. Going about half the distance across the sky.
What?
Right where I was looking at.
I thought it was in your hand.
It was so bright it lit the whole area up.
What?
And the whole area around my house was like daytime.
Oh, like daytime, huh?
I heard
like
it.
Days of Our Lives?
It was like crackling as it came in to the atmosphere.
Crackling.
It lit up the whole area was lit up bright like it was daytime.
What?
Now, as soon as this happened,
it's called lightning, bro.
I moved to my left and my right.
Hold on. Somebody needs to explain to ICT what lightning is. Okay, lightning, it lights up the sky, and yeah, it looks like the lights turned on in your area. Okay, it's called lightning. Nobody's fireballs and wishing stars.
It even crackles and pops, like he said he heard crackles and pops. It's like he literally never heard of lightning before. He's never heard. Wow. Yep, it was the lightning, folks. ICT saw lightning, but he said that was his sign. Okay, this is how he's going to be the ICT trader directly from God himself.
Alien abduction and did that probe, the one that nobody really wants, but you might want to go check a proctologist on that next week when you find out that you've got colon cancer and you can get that colostomy bag attached. Listen, bro, your stories, bro, nobody's buying this shit, bro. Nobody's buying that.
Was there something else that solved that with me?
Yeah, probably people all around you being like, wow, did y'all see that lightning strike? Holy shizballs.
Like I could not believe what just took place.
I've never seen lightning. Fuck me. Oh, woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, y'all see that electricity in the sky? I feel like I'm Tesla now. I'm gonna go get me. I need a kite and a string, and a metal key. Yeah.
Now, mind you, I said all I need to do is see this, and then
all I needed to do is see a lightning strike. I mean, those don't happen very often, right? I mean, unless you live in Texas. Fuck.
And I will absolutely.
Do they not have rainstorms in Maryland? Is that what's going on here? I'm trying to help.
Trust and believe that you hear me. And when I pray, you'll hear me. It doesn't mean it's yes. It doesn't mean you're going to give me what I'm asking for. It just means that you can hear me.
Okay, bro, listen. Is the God of the universe? Trust me. He can hear you. All right, you can ask any pastor, they'll tell you he hears you. All right, he may ignore you, and people like yourself who lie all the time. It literally, there's a Bible passage you can ask KC about this one. Bible says that even your prayers are detestable to him, and they become a curse upon you because you pray to him with your prideful, ridiculous lying. You are the father. The father of lies is the devil, the one who basically caused all this drama to begin with. Go watch Vinny E. Mini's video entitled The Message if you want to know about life, why we're all here, where life began, where it will end. Go watch Vinny E. Mini, The Message. Until then, this con man, y'all just need to stay away from anything ICT, the entire ICT fraud network, all those little fake ass accounts out there reselling his stuff. He calls it Mentor of Mentors because those are all his fake accounts out there reselling his stuff. Wake up.
And I will always refer back to this moment when it gets rough if I ask for help and it doesn't seem like it's coming in the form,
I'm going to remember the lightning in the sky lighting up around my house, or everything looks like the lights turned on. Folks, we've all seen that. I mean, I've seen it. I think it looks pretty cool. And it's lightning out there. I kind of like to sit out on my porch. Honestly, I'm kind of one of those weirdos. Like, I like to watch the rain. It's cool. And then the lightning strikes, and then everything lights up for a few seconds, and it's like, you know, looks like there's a giant spotlight coming down. It's pretty cool. But, bro, I mean, if that's your sign, bro, okay, man, whatever.
that I want it, it's okay. You know better than I do. I didn't mention this in the build-up of all this, but I told him, I said, you know, I know we're told that we're not supposed to put you to test or tempt the Lord or anything like that.
First of all, that's not true. That was an Old Testament thought, and God specifically told Hezekiah to test him. He said, test me. Ask me anything. It could be anything. Let's think of another one. How about Gideon? Right? How would he tell Gideon? He said, test me on this. How about Moses and Aaron? They put all their rods and staffs inside the box, closed them up, and at the next morning, who's ever rod butted, that was going to be the one. That was Aaron's rod. This guy, look, if you're going to preach the gospel, you're going to preach like you know what's in the Bible. Like, actually know what's in the Bible, bro. And no, you can ask the Lord for a test and a sign. Gideon did it to do the fleece on the out in the lawn to do, you know, he did a wet one, then he did a second one back to back. He's like, okay, I know you did the he did the Bible's fiction, bro. Das, you got mental issues, bro. Next.
I don't think those verses even mean that.
What is fiction is ICT's track record.
Think that way. There was a guy in the Bible.
I'm sorry, his positive track record.
He heard a voice too. And he said, well, I'm not sure what I'm thinking right now, but I'm going to put it to the test. And I'm going to lay something outside my tent.
Oh, shoot!
And if the dew goes on...
He's talking about Gideon. He's talking about Gideon. Dude, this is the story. Okay, at least he knows the story of Gideon. Okay, so I don't know why he's saying, like, that God doesn't want you to test him. He does. In fact, Gideon did, and it's a big story in the Bible. So, really?
On the ground and not on the hide of the animal I'm laying down on the ground, then I'll know it's not my imagination.
Even Joseph and Mary. Joseph needed a sign that Mary was legit, like, you know, didn't, you know, sleep around. He's like, I need a sign, okay? And God sent him an angel. All right, I'm just there's so many places where God, you know, they asked for a sign, like, show me what to do, and he did. Anyhow, whatever.
So he goes to bed, comes up the next morning, what he asked for happens. Dew's on one thing and not on the other. He said, okay, just to make sure, if you're the Lord, reverse it and do the same thing, just opposite.
Yeah, he did. He tested him
woke
twice.
Up the next day, went outside, and the dew of the morning was only on one thing and not the other. Now, is that somebody that was testing the Lord, or is that somebody just making sure they weren't being misled? And that's what I gave God that night. I said, you did it for Gideon. And I have a lot of faith.
And I'm Elijah, so do it for me. Okay, bro.
I have childlike faith. Like I have...
You're childish. That's different than childlike faith, but we'll go ahead and carry on. Just trying to help you out, bro.
Have crazy faith. Like I have it.
You got crazy faith in yourself that one day you're going to be a profitable trader, but you better keep dreaming and smoking that pipe, bro.
And that night, he gave me exactly what I was looking for in 3 different manifestations in the same area I was looking for.
3. Okay, so he's one up in, you notice the one-upmanship? And so he's one up in Gideon here. So Gideon only got 2. He's like, I got 3 verifications. Okay. He's like, God needed to help me a little bit more. Maybe that's diminished, okay, because he needed 3. Okay, so he's taking a back seat to Gideon. He's like, listen, man, I needed 3. All right, okay. Delusional.
And I told this story so many times to my children. And I have a journal that I have recordings of things like that in my life. And I write them down because when my youngest son was little, I was afraid if something would happen to me, he'd never hear about it. So I write down all of these.
All right, so that's what's up. If you go farther in there, he does end up explaining that, well, because he'd have all these things, this is why he's able to be the ICT trader that he is, and that's how he is, you should stay around because he's going to tell you secrets that God taught him. So, folks, what is it? Is it Tobias and Parson? You know, ICT, you got to keep your story straight, is it God himself? Is it because you got signs? you know, what is it? But the thing is you're a fraud. You are a fake. You're always lying. I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Tell me down in the comments down below. All you trolls, all you ICT kids, listen, you really need to think. I'm going to appeal to you and really ask yourself a couple of things, okay? Before you go down there and write your little, oh, Vinny, you're just jealous of his subscriber count. Folks, I already proved to you over here. Go onto my channel and you'll see I have already proven that he is buying subs, right? Scroll down right here. Both him and Trades by Matt. I proved it out. One of the, I think it was like the fourth. This one right here. Paying for subscribers, fake subscribers, both ICT and Trades by Matt. So probably using the same group. That's fake. So as far as his subscriber counts, no, I'm not interested in subscriber counts. I have my monetization turned off. Think about this. I don't need YouTube money. Literally have monetization turned off. I don't pay for, I don't get views. I don't get paid for the views. So I don't care how many views come here. I am here to save some people though. Okay. I don't need it. ICT needs it. ICT literally, like, he stopped his whole video one time because he had music playing. Oh, this whole thing is, it'd be worth nothing if I have music in this. I better take this off. He needs the ICT. I mean, he needs the YouTube money, right? ICT lives in a shack. His two sons, who are adult sons, live in trailer parks, and one is being forced to be the nurse for their grandfather in a dump, the same Dundalk dump that he was in before. Nissan Sentras that they're driving around, and mopeds. Folks, this is not a person who has money. The reason that you're following him to begin with, his original lie was that he was a massive Forex trader that he could trade. He cannot trade. He's never made a dime. Folks, I'm not even saying that he didn't make a little money. He did not even make a little money. He is in the negative from trading. Negative from trading, folks. And we are bringing a lawsuit against him, a class action lawsuit against him. He will be proven a fraud in public, folks, and he will pay all the way back from all of his things of talking about him asking for donations, all the lies, all the people. If you want your $2,500 back that you spent on the ICT scam, if you got scammed in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, I'm sorry, yeah, 2021, and now here we come in 2022. If you paid for any one of those years and you want your money back, come see me. We've got a room over there on the left-hand side. We're doing a class action lawsuit against this jackass. He attacked my family. He threatened my family. He's threatened other people's family. He sends people to threaten other people's families. He thinks he's going to get away with it. He is not. This man is a fraud. He is a con, and he needs to pay. That's my opinion. What's yours? Drop it down in the comments down below. But remember, is this the guy you want to follow? Do you want to live, if you're trying to emulate your mentor, do you want to live in a trailer park like his kids when you grow up? Up to you. There's nothing wrong with a trailer park, okay? But if you have a different idea of what you want to do and who you want to be and what you want to have, this is not the place you want to be hanging out with ICT. He is a waste of time and money. The time is the worst part because he wastes your time. I'm out.